Pokemon Ultimate Adventures by Mikazuki. Chapter 5 Radical High-Speed Pursuit. Location: Tealville Pokemon Center. All of your Pokemon will be ready in 2 hours, Nurse Joy said. 2 hours? That's kinda long, said Ash, but Brock pushed him to the side. Don't be so rude. 2 hours are fine, Brock said, then looked at Nurse Joy. And speaking of time, when's your next break, Nurse Joy? Huh? Nurse Joy blinked. I was just thinking that we could go out to— Ow! Brock yelped as Misty dragged him away by his ear. She's a busy woman and doesn't have that kind of time to waste. Misty dragged him to prevent him from embarrassing the group any further. No one has that kind of time to waste, especially on you! She let go of Brock's ear, dropping him to the ground. She looked left and right. Where was Ash? Misty looked back. There was a group of comfy chairs and couches near a TV set. This was where trainers would wait to have their Pokemon healed. Ash was sitting on the couch watching something. What are you watching? Misty walked over and asked him. That. Ash pointed at the TV. The Dark Forest region is now safe to pass through once again because Team Rocket Elite Agent 001 has finally been apprehended. According to reports, 001 has crashed through the skylight of the Tealville police station, the news reporter said. Misty sat down on the couch and watched the TV with Ash. Although he attempted to fight using his Pokemon, it was simply too injured and tired to go on, and was easily subdued, forcing 001 to surrender. When being restrained, 001 was swearing revenge on a certain group of people, and that he would get them no matter what, but it is not very likely to happen. Whoever the people he was swearing revenge on, they must be the ones who have defeated him. 001 will be attending his trial in a month's time. And now for the weather. What? Ladies and gentlemen, this is an urgent report. There have been 3 attacks. One was the Tealville Police Training Academy. According to our sources, the entire Growlithe K9 squad has been defeated, and Missigno gang trainers have ransacked the building, and all the HMs and TMs in the armory were stolen. A single man, most likely a super fiend, has defeated the chief trainers. The second one was the Tealville Museum. All the valuable and ancient artifacts and Pokemon fossils have been taken. The last was the Tealville Pokemon Lab, where a group of trainers invaded SWAT team style and penetrated the high-security defenses. The new experimental HM our city scientists have been working on was stolen as well. Did you hear that, Ash? Asked Misty. No, Ash replied plainly. Stupid! Why weren't you listening? She yelled out loud, and sweat dropped when she looked and saw everyone in the center was staring at her. She gritted her teeth and spoke, make that whisper to Ash. What? Ash leaned closer. I couldn't make out what you were saying. She pinched Ash's ear and pulled him in. I was talking about the Missigno gang! She let go, and Ash rubbed his ear. What about it? Ash spoke, rather loudly. Not so loud, Misty said. Fine then. Ash leaned closer and whispered. You heard what he said. There's Missigno people here. She sighed. We're still not out of trouble. You think so? They can't be that strong, Ash replied. Maybe not, but listen up. Back in Scarlet, I talked to a guy named Ebby, Misty said. Oh, so you met him too? Ash interrupted her. Shut up! I'm only whispering because this is what he told me to do. He told me to tell you where to find him, seeing how he lives here. He's not very popular with that gang, you know, and he doesn't want tons of people hearing about where to find him. Listen, Ebby said that after we exit the forest, head to the Pokemon Center to heal if we fought anything. He told me to look for him. What? Where does he want to meet us? Ash asked. I don't know! He left in the middle of the conversation to talk to you and didn't come back because some sucker punched him. Hey, he used that ultra-high voltage taser on me. It's a wonder I'm still alive. Well, he was just showing you that he wasn't totally defenseless without a Pokemon, unlike you. I was never defenseless, and even without a Pokemon, I'm still strong. After all, I am a regular Super Smash Bros. Participant, and I happen to be a very good one. Ash started to gloat, for showing off was something he could do well. You should have seen Pikachu in those matches. Must have won over 100. With my guidance, of course. Not to mention, we lasted through the 15-minute melee in my first try, and eliminated 11 of the wireframes in the cruel melee scenario. There was a flash of light and a snap. Ash and Misty both yelped and sat up, and saw Pikachu holding a Polaroid camera. "Having a nice conversation?" Brock asked. "What was that all about?" Ash asked, and looked at Pikachu. "Pikachu, you're all better!" "Nurse Joy treated him first, so he came out first," Brock explained. "What were you two talking about here?" "Well, I was just telling Misty about my accomplishments in the Super Smash Bros. Tournaments." "Okay, I get the point, Ash," said Misty. Ash got up and walked to the counter to see how the rest of his Pokemon were doing. Brock leaned on the sofa. "So, now he's starting to show off to you, huh? I've noticed you two have been getting really close lately." "Well, he was sitting only a few inches away," Misty said, then realized something. "Hey! You're not going on about this couples junk again?" Brock shrugged. "Hey, I'm only trying to help you out with your relationship, seeing how slow it's going." Misty whacked Brock over the head with a mallet. "Shut up!" and walked off. Pikachu jumped onto the couch, holding the Polaroid camera that had just developed. Brock looked at the picture and laughed. "The thing that embarrasses them most is being called a couple." The picture of Ash and Misty when they were talking looked more like something else, seeing how they were both sitting on a couch, leaning close to each other, and their faces only an inch apart, and both of them blinked during the flash, so it looked like their eyes were closed. "For every bash on the head I've received this week alone, I'm sending 12 copies to every city we've been to, including Orange Islands, and 100 copies of this picture will go to Pallet Town and Cerulean City. Will they be in full color?" Pikachu nodded. "Good. I want the full effect. That'll teach him to mess with me, 'cause you can never smell what the Brock is cooking!" Brock laughed maniacally, ignoring all the faces of the people staring at him. Location: Tealville Town Square. "Man, this city is so cool," said Ash, staring at the fountain. "You're right about that." Misty leaned on a railing and looked at the water Pokemon skimming in the waterways. "There's so much to see." "Yeah." Brock spoke in a goofy tone. Apparently, he was staring at some girls passing by. Ash snatched the Johto guidebook from Brock's pockets. "This town's got so many places to see. First, there's the Tealville Pokemon Museum, and it's closed because of that last raid. Then there's also the Pokemon Lab, which is also closed. I really wanted to see that lab. I heard they're always discovering new Pokemon techniques and TMs. Well, there's not much that we can do, seeing how we're gonna be waiting for Tracy. The maximum I can do is start training." "You know, the best way to build up EXP is to battle," said Brock. "And Jessie and James are stronger now, so every time you beat them, you'll get more XP. Speaking of which, where are they? We've been in this town for 8 hours, and they would have usually attacked us by now," said Misty. "Oh, shoot!" Ash snapped his fingers angrily. "Right when I needed that XP!" Meanwhile, back at the Dark Forest outpost. "Ah! Why do Team Rocket Elites have to always carry these stupid metal rings?" Jessie struggled to free herself from one of the 3 metal rings. "James, help me out here!" "Hey, I've got troubles of my own right now!" James tried to break free of his own, without much success. "Meowth, you don't have a ring! Help us!" "The reason I don't have a ring is because I don't need one. I'd help you, but I can't move!" Meowth was still paralyzed and hurt, and lying on the ground. Jessie, James, and Meowth all groaned. Getting out of here was going to take a long while. Location: Tealville Town Square. "I'm bored, 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 bored," Ash mumbled, sitting on a fence. Misty slapped him on the back of the head. "Enough! I heard you the first 50 times! Well, I've got nothing to do. Sure, I could be training, but how? The only experience I get is when battling, and there's no one to battle! Can't you at least find something to do?" "Well, maybe." Ash pulled out the metal ring and started examining it. Team Rocket Elites use these things all the time. but I just don't know how. The only way I could get them was because Jesse and James were unconscious, and I managed to lock them on after a ton of tries. I kept this one because it just might come in handy sooner or later. As Ash was tinkering with the object, Misty got up and started looking around. Brock! Hey! Where are you? She called. A short while ago, Brock left to go following some girls. Misty was out of the town center right now. I'd better go find him before he gets arrested for stalking, she said with some scorn. Meanwhile, darn it! Where are those girls? Brock asked himself out loud. Ah, shoot, I lost them! And that blonde back there was so cute, he muttered angrily, and then sighed. Oh well, better get back to the others. He walked back to the town center, where Ash was sitting on a bench, looking unusually focused. Ash was just trying to figure out how to work the metal rings. Hey, Ash! Brock walked over to him. You actually kept those? Yeah, Ash replied, twisting, turning, trying to get them open. They work for the Rocket Elites, and if I can figure these things out, they'll work just as well for me, too. Wah! Ash and Brock jumped at the sound of tires screeching. Ah! A guy screamed. Ash and Brock both turned their heads and saw a van speeding and a guy sprinting as fast as he could to get away. He turned quickly to the right and dove into an alley out of the way. The van didn't try to follow him, but just kept speeding. Ash and Brock ran quickly to the guy to see if he was okay. Ugh, my head! He was kneeling and moaning. He picked up a pair of glasses that fell off when he jumped. He turned around and saw the two. Ash! And No Eyes! Evie? When did you get here? Ash gasped. No Eyes? Brock exclaimed. Listen, Ash! No time to talk! Those guys are the Missingno gang members who attacked and stole the experimental HM from the Pokemon lab! Hurry! You can't let them get away! That HM teaches a new and very destructive attack, and the machine can be used unlimited times! Abby yelled. Abby, they're in a speeding getaway van, Ash replied. I know! Here, take this thing! I just finished it and I'm not sure how well it works, but there's no time to test it out! Ebby opened his bag and pulled out what looked like a white metal skateboard. There were 2 clips for the feet, but it had no wheels. Instead, on the sides near the back were what looked like 2 small jet boosters, and where the wheels should have been, there were 2 shorter but wider jets, with a small orange-yellow glow inside each booster. Ebby held it a foot over the ground and let go, but it didn't fall. It simply hung in midair. I just finished making this last night! Hurry! Use this and stop them! Then let's go! Without stopping to think of the possible dangers, Ash jumped on. The clips locked onto Ash's feet, and Pikachu quickly climbed up to Ash's shoulders. Hey, Ash! Wait! Brock tried to stop Ash, but too late. The jet boosters on the board flashed, and Ash zoomed down the road at a very high speed, with Pikachu hanging on for dear life. I just hope that jet board will hold, said Ebby.